Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Venom, issue 10. This is from Marvel Comics, written by Donny Cates, pencils by Ryan Stegman, J.P. Mayer, inker, Frank Martin, color artist, VC's Clayton, Cowles, letterer, Ryan Stegman, J.P. Mayer, and Frank Martin did the cover art, assistant editor Lauren Amaro, Devin Lewis editor, Nick Lowe executive editor. So Dylan and Eddie are at a cafe talking. This is really a long-winded conversation story. Now, this is Marvel in 2019. And so they had to sit around and have a long, boring conversation while eating, but it is full of plot. It's just very long-winded and probably could have been toned down. We finally learned what really happened with that car accident that Eddie was involved in, and he may have been a little bit more culpable than it was originally alluded to. We learned that Eddie's father was a very aggressive individual who beat him, and apparently is doing the same to Dylan. And we also learned Eddie's motivations for why he wants to protect innocent people, and then it appears like Null shows up and Eddie takes Venom form, but it's not exactly what it seems to be, and Eddie collapses and we learn some very drastic bad things about him. Now overall the story isn't bad, it just kind of took a long time to get where it needed to go, and a fair amount of this probably could have been cut and condensed down. So I would say probably 6 or 7 pages could have been cut from this issue, and they had to play the, oh, he got off the hook because his dad was rich and he's a young white person. So they had to play the white privilege card, which was really lazy storytelling. And even in a rich, affluent area, so a place like San Francisco probably wouldn't have been that easy to get off the hook for what he did. May have helped him reduce the crime, but I think they played it up a little too much. It was a little over the top. They could have dialed that back about 6 or 7 notches, and it would have been more effective. Plus, the fact that the scene went on a little too long probably didn't help its case any. Overall, it's an okay issue. I didn't have a problem with the general idea of what they were doing. Just the white privilege thing was lazy, and the whole thing was a little long. It could have been knocked down a few pages and probably put something more interesting in there other than people sitting around eating again. So this was just an issue of people sitting around. I like the core idea for this story, but it really needed better editing. So I'll recommend it if you can find it cheap, but the paper quality is trash. Cover's pretty cool, but there's a 3-page thing for Stan Lee, and the pages are all black except for a picture of Stan Lee. It's the laziest tribute in history. No respect to Stan Lee, and there's some ham-fisted white privilege nonsense in there. Overall, it's probably bargain bin material. So if you could get it that way, I would get it out of the bargain bin or get it in trade. I think this one is really kind of overblown as far as necessity to the storyline. The big reveal will be mentioned in the next issue, so if you miss this one, not a gigantic loss. That'll do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links to my Patreon, Streamlabs, and Teespring store are in the description. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.